Hey everybody, it's your girl Sherry, and welcome back to another episode of Alleged Actually Podcast. I am joined by my Bravo bestie, Joey. Hey,
Hello.
Joey. How's it going?
Thrilled to be here.
Good. Yes, y'all, because we are doing a double recap. We are going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Salt Lake City. So you get double the treat tonight. So we are going to start off with Beverly Hills. I thought it was a good episode.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So they're doing, as they typically do, all of the ladies on all the franchises do girls' getaways, and this is no different. Kathy Hilton has actually planned this one, which she did a good job.
Let me tell you, never turn down an invite to a Kathy Hilton trip.
Never would I ever. I just hope someday I'll be just lucky enough because she spares no expense, no experience. Kathy was spot on. She did a great job.
She really was.
Yeah. So they're doing a getaway to Oceanside, and she has done the ladies' invitations in personalized suitcases full of Kathy Hilton style goodies.
Yeah, she's like a cartoon character that came to life, and I can't get enough of her. I would watch a whole show that revolved around her.
I absolutely love her. And I know last episode, I did a quick recap on it last week when she pranked Kyle with the Amazon thing. Joey, it just the way she did her voice, I was so cracked up because that is such a big sister thing to do. I would totally do my sister like that. I have done my sister like that. It was hysterical. Kyle never even knew. It was so funny. Jesus.
Yeah.
She's good TV. She
is good TV.
She is. For all of you that don't understand why Kathy is on, are y'all watching? Because
yeah, she's hilarious. Naturally hilarious. And she's not even trying to be funny.
Exactly. She doesn't even have to try.
No, she just is naturally that person. It's crazy.
It is. So she is going to deliver these invitations herself, her and her assistant, I guess it is, in that vintage Rolls Royce. Fabulous. First up was Bose. First of all, Joey.
Okay. I'm so obsessed.
Right? Did she not come to that door just looking like the most perfect tropical Barbie ever?
I just feel like she was made to be a Real Housewife. She was made for this show. She's so glamorous. She's gorgeous. She's naturally, again, so funny.
She is.
I feel like Beverly Hills had a really hard time, finding that, last person to fit. She is perfection. I'm here for it.
Freaking-lutely, she is absolute perfection. And what I love about her is she doesn't have to try. Some get on, they have an agenda, they're so thirsty. She is just who she is. She is confident. She's like, hey, I love it.
Yep.
Yes. So she goes over to Bose first. Then she heads over to Garcelle, who her son Jade is now getting his hand into modeling. He's 16. Honestly, that boy, striking.
Yeah, the bits that we saw of him in the modeling shoot, he looks great.
Great bone strike. Well, of course, Garcelle, she did her modeling thing. He does. He's got the model thing going. And it doesn't hurt to have Garcelle as a mom. So
yeah,
there's that. I do have to ask you before we get further in. Just curious, and I know we'll get to. No, actually, we won't get because I was getting myself confused because everybody was sharing clips of that sneak peek. But I just want to know and get your overall temperature. How do you feel about Garcelle?
I'm like here or there with her. I don't like love her. I don't like dislike her. I feel like she's just kind of like a mid card, and she's just kind of like there. I think when she first came on, I was like, oh, this is like so like refreshing.
Right.
And I feel like as time like went on, she's like a complainer, and yet like for someone that wants to hold everyone else accountable, she doesn't really take any accountability for like her actions. I just like, again, don't dislike, don't like. She's just kind of there, you know?
Right. I do like, but I like because I've been a fan since the whole Jamie Foxx show thing. So, I mean, I can't say that if I didn't know her before, her actual performance, if you will, on the Housewives. I think with her, at first I was like you, so excited just to have her on. And then I understood, like I said last time, her thing with Dorit, and whatever. But she's very cynical. She's kind of negative. And sadly, I hate it for her, but she's not coming across as very likable.
No,
she's not. I'm just going to be honest to say I love her, but I also have eyeballs, right?
yeah.
So, yeah. I'm hoping that'll change for her. Like, I'm hoping she'll get like a man, or we'll get a storyline that will be, or something endearing, or something that'll switch it up for her, because I'm worried for her a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit.
I agree.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, after she gives Garcelle her suitcase invite, she goes over to Dorit next, and Dorit is oh so happy. She opens up the suitcase and loves the bucket hat, which she describes as Chanel inspired. Maybe I'm not up on my labels that much, but that's not what it was giving to me. But Dorit would know. So
yeah, I actually have a whole bullet point on my notes about that hat, because that lampshade hat, we saw it in a previous season. It is hideous, but I felt like it looked good on everyone that put it on their head.
I'll give you that.
Like, ironically, Kathy like looked good in it. Dorit tried it on. I thought she looked good in it.
Yeah.
And then even when Erica put it on and was like, "Oh, it's too small for my head. Like, what is this?" She looked good in it.
She did.
I don't know if that's like you have to have money thing. Like, I know I'm not putting on like that hat. I don't know when I know is putting on like that hat.
No. I mean,
it looked good on them.
It honestly did. It definitely did. I was here for it. I was like, okay, and like I said, Chanel inspired. Dorit would know. I mean, listen, I love a good label, but I am not up on it like Dorit. So there you have it. Well, after Dorit, she goes over to Kyle, and she goes in. Yeah, she sees the little knick-knack and comments on that, about the print, about how beautiful it was. So we find out that Kyle is redecorating her family home, and they sit and talk a little bit. What did you think, Joey, about the scene? Because Kathy's saying, well, I think Kyle's a little hypersensitive, and maybe this wouldn't have affected her or Dorit's stuff 3 years ago.
I just think that Kyle is like crazy in like the nicest way possible. I just like everyone else around you, even like your own sister, like sees like you are making a mountain out of like a molehill. I've never seen, and we see it like later in the episode too. I'm sure like we'll get to it, but like Kyle is like literally like grasping at straws to gaslight Dorit into being the villain, when like Dorit is like not the villain. I mean, she has been the villain in the past,
sure,
but she's not the villain in this situation.
No.
I like don't. And again, I think that maybe Kathy was onto something. Maybe you are hypersensitive. Maybe you're upset about this or that, and you're taking it out on like Dorit. I don't know what her reasoning is, but I mean, anyone with like eyes and ears know that Dorit is not the problem here.
Dorit is definitely not the problem, in my opinion. I just, it comes across as so ridiculous. And I keep thinking, okay, when are we going to get that scene where she's like, is in confessional and something else comes out like that's really bothering her? Because it's just not adding up. It sounds ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
And she's standing by it so far. But
she's mad about a joke that was made at BravoCon.
Was that not ridiculous? I'm just like, girl, I mean, and she spilled the shot on her. She was even laughing with her at the time. So it's like.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Ridiculous. At any rate, they talk about the trip, and Kathy encourages Kyle to make sure that she has a conversation with Dorit alone. And then we get to the scene with Kyle and Mauricio or Mo. I got lots to say there. So she first says that, he's living his life and she's living her life, and they're going to reconvene in 6 months. They do the quick talk about PK moving into his place and the fact that it's furnished. And then she makes the comment about Mo's bachelor pad and how she thought he would stage it.
And he bought furniture instead.
Right.
I don't know how I feel about that. I'm unsure.
You're unsure. Okay. I'm going to give you my quick thoughts. I feel like Kyle is very delusional. I really feel like she, for whatever reason, on last season was having her hot girl summer or something, honey. Her and Morgan. And
thou that shall not be named.
That part this season. That girl.
Mm-hmm.
That sings country music.
Yep.
That she still travels with. But so I feel like it's a little bit of, I thought the grass was greener, or, me and Mo are so solid that, because there may have been some things that we don't know. It wouldn't shock me if he hadn't stepped out, or if there hadn't been things that she kept close. But I felt like she thought that was her time to go do her, and that Mo would kind of hang out and they could get themselves back together. I don't think that this is my opinion.
Yep.
Been watching since season 1. This is just opinion. But I feel like she is not believing that he's really going to move on. And to me, it's looking like he wants to. He's gone, it looks like to me.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, like, that's why, like, the buying furniture thing, at first I was like, I don't know if that's, like, that big of a deal. And then I was like, it's kind of permanent feeling, I don't know. Plus, my thing about this scene that really annoyed me was when the producer asked her, like, about the native together, she was like, I don't want to answer that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't want to talk about Morgan. You're not going to answer these questions about you and Mo. Then what are you doing here? No one even wants you here. You keep coming back. I don't understand why. If you're not going to talk about yourself, get out.
Go. You can have all the privacy you want. Just get off our screens.
100%.
I concur. I'm totally there. It's ridiculous. And I really felt like after last season, I was like, surely this season she knows she's got to bring it, because even at the reunion, we still got just her dancing around. Nothing. Yeah. Literally nothing.
I know. But for some reason, like, they allowed that. I don't understand. Like, she's bringing nothing to the table.
Nothing but a bunch of ridiculous whining and complaints that make zero sense.
Agreed.
At any rate, guys, the girls are getting ready for their beach trip, and Jennifer Tilly. How do you feel about Jennifer Tilly?
I love her. She's so quirky. I think she's, again, like, naturally, like, funny.
Yeah.
I just think, like, it's such a breath of fresh air, especially on, like, Beverly Hills, which could be, like, a little, like, too, like, tightly, like, wound. I think that it's just, and I think it's super interesting that her and Sutton are so close, because I feel like they're very different people.
Very different.
Which, like, throws me for, like, a loop every time, but I just, like, love her. I think she's, like, bringing something, like, different to the table that we, like, haven't really seen. Yeah. I love it. And she rich.
Yes, she
We find out she got that Simpsons money? Like,
I know.
what?
I did not know. So, like, when she said it, I'm Googling. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And those pieces, and we'll get there, but Eric, Child. And how about I was looking for that bag too? Wait a minute.
Dude, Erica zeroed in on those.
She knows her stuff. I love Erica, and I'm gonna just say that I respect her for being able to keep it moving because, yeah, some people couldn't. Some people couldn't.
I love Erica.
I love Erica too. So Jennifer's preparing. She's got her chips, her sage, and her holy water. And then we go over to Dorit, and she calls Erica and says she's frazzled because she has to leave the kids with the nanny. Okay. And on that conversation, they talk about the BravoCon comment, which I'm so sick of hearing about. And Erica agrees with Dorit that she just didn't see where it was that big of a deal either. Because
no one did. No one can.
No one. So Dorit comes back and says, however, she said, and Erica agrees that she didn't do anything like that was not on purpose to hurt Kyle. However, Dorit says, well, Kyle on the other side has done things on purpose to hurt me. And she goes into the comments she made, after her fashion show. Oh, the reasons why. It was after her fashion show with the comment that Dorit made. And I was like trying to remember. I didn't remember that one. But I did remember, of course, when she sided with Erica on the Aspen trip, saying that Erica was in tears and Kyle was all spun up and saying, oh, I don't care. And then at the reunion, when she sided with Kathy after the Aspen meltdown that she had. And you know what? Honestly, I think a lot of Kyle's problems is her whole, their whole sister dynamic thing with her being the baby. And they all have a very weird, maybe it stemmed from their mom, but they have a weird dynamic as sisters. And she just can't take 1 ounce of criticism, 1 ounce of she can't seem to take it.
But she loves to dish it.
She does love to dish it, big time. She can be the eternal victim, but God forbid.
Yeah, and my thing is, though, I feel like her relationship with her sisters is very similar to those with, like, her friends.
Yes.
Well, I mean, the ones we see, like, on screen. But, like, she's a friend to no one. She's a friend to herself, and that is it. It doesn't matter if you're blood. It doesn't matter if you're a friend or a co-star. It's, like, it's insane. I don't know how she has any friends in, like, the real world. Maybe she's a different person, like, off camera or off screen. But, I mean...
And you would think at this point, watching yourself for 14 seasons, there would be an aha moment saying, ooh, I should probably work on that. But no, not so much.
No reflection.
None at all. No. But basically, after that, we get back over at Kathy's with her brand manager and her butler. The ladies all arrive, and they're all going to get ready to go on their trip. I'm going to talk about real quick the scene where they were all together, and Erica asked Garcelle about the most famous men she dated. It's a good little bit of tea there. So we had Eddie Murphy, Will Smith, and Sean Penn. Who knew?
Didn't know about Sean Penn.
Did not. And I read her book. I don't recall Sean Penn being mentioned. It's like you holding out on us there, Garcelle. And then what did you think about Erica's comment? If you dated those guys, why'd you marry the one you did? Which she was saying what I was thinking, but I mean, you love who you love.
But you know what, though? Erica Jane always going to say it like it is. So no surprise there.
Yeah, that's right. That's that Georgia, that Southern girl, that Atlanta thing. She got it. So at this point, we are in Oceanside, and they come to the house where Top Gun was filmed, and we see our fake Tom Cruise. I didn't really get that part of her.
It was funny. My biggest takeaway from that was that I knew that I loved Bose from the get, and then when she was like, "Next time, bring Idris," girl, a woman after my own heart.
Mine too, honey. I was like, yes, ma'am, I concur.
Like the things I would do to see Idris Elba, it just knows no bounds.
Same.
Yeah. I knew I liked Bose. I knew that we were kindred spirits.
I swear. I know. It just keeps getting better and better. I swear. She is amazing. Well, after that, guys, they go to their hotel, settle in, beautiful hotel. Kathy still has more personalized bags on the bed. She's doing her thing. Dorit is talking about she's melting down after leaving her kids. And I guess she's at this point, I'm getting ahead of myself. They're at the beach now. They're on the beach, beautifully laid out, beautiful tables. She's got it. Kathy,
the living room set. Like, I don't know what's going on over there.
Listen, Kathy did it up. She did. It looked beautiful.
Beautiful.
So they're at the table. Dorit is. Oh, well, first let me say, did you not think that was funny when Kathy thought that the person out in the water was a whale?
Again, though, I actually have that in like my notes. Classic Kathy Hilton moment. And she wants to call everyone's attention at the table. Oh my God, look. And it's a guy. It's a guy on a surfboard. It's not a whale. She's like, oh. I mean, naturally funny.
She is. I was like, again, I don't see why people are confused as to why she's on the show. She is great for the show.
Yeah, we need her.
We need her, and we need her to stay. At this point, Dorit is letting Bose, she's talking to Bose. She feels comfortable. I wanted to ask you what you thought about that. She's telling her about, leaving the kids. Her and PK are separated and the lease thing. So
I think it's great that she's confiding in Bose. I think it's great that they hit it off at Sutton's party. I think it's great that she feels comfortable enough to share with her like that. What wasn't great was the rest of the table making it their center of conversation. There's like 6 other people. Talk to them. I don't know. I didn't think it was like that big of a deal that they were having like a little private side convo. Mind you, not like the middle of everyone, at the end of like the table.
I agree.
Then for Garcelle to make it such a big deal, it's like, girl, did you forget that the last reunion you basically told her like you like don't want to be friends with her? She's like not your type of people. So why would she share with you anything going on in her life?
You're right. And that's what I mean. It was a moment like that. I was like, nah, come on, Garcelle, leave it be. Like, seriously. I mean, why would she tell you? And it's not like something that you're just like, hey, table, I'm going to announce. I mean, they were right there together. They were having a conversation. And she had confided in her already at Sutton's party. So it's kind of like, well, here's kind of where we're at. Yeah, that was unnecessary.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So Erica then lets them know kind of what's going on. She brings them into how things are not going good with PK. And that's when all the ladies kind of talk about divorce. Because, honey, for it to be the Housewives show, these are some experts in divorce.
Yeah. I mean, is anyone with a man?
Kathy. No, not now.
Mm-mm. Kathy, but none of like the actual housewives.
No, they're not. No.
Yeah.
No, they're all
doing great.
Yeah. Yeah. There you have it. Each one of them talk, and that's when we find out Jennifer Tilly had been married to the creator of The Simpsons, Sam Simon, and she got a little piece of The Simpsons, honey. She got, like Joey said, that money.
And what's funny is like when she first started coming on, I was like thinking to myself, like, I mean, she was in like the Chucky franchises,
right?
She had that one like scantily clad movie like Bound like years ago, but I'm like,
yes,
what has she really been in? Like, I don't know, like where's all this money coming from? And then I was like, wow.
Right, I did not know, and it's funny because the only thing I could think of at the time was The Bride of Chucky. And, I love her sister, Meg Tilly. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. So there's Meg, there's Jennifer. Jennifer was the more, I'm like, where is she getting? Because she's living large. And I'm thinking, then I was like, well, no wonder, ma'am. And that just the gift that keeps right on giving.
Oh, she got that Simpsons money. I feel like it's never going to like end at this point.
No, I mean, they're predicting the future. I mean, they're going to be here for a long, long time. They have their own cult-like following. So
yeah. Oh, 100%. And then like you have to think about like the merchandising and like movies and like I mean, my gosh.
It just goes. It's like the Simpsons empire. I mean, really.
It is an empire. I agree.
Really is. I'm just thinking, man, these women, I mean, I guess prenups weren't a thing, or you talk about savvy because some of them, Sutton, Jennifer, I mean, they made out quite well.
I mean, I can't fathom Sutton $300,000 a month she gets from her ex.
Yes.
Like,
is that not crazy?
That's insanity. To even like, my brain can't even handle that.
Neither can mine, honey. Neither can mine. I'm just like, good gracious. That's why I was saying, man, if I was Kyle and she was giving me advice, I would be like, wait a minute. Let me get all my ears, my eye. Listen.
Pen, paper, a recording device, something.
Right. Speak slow so I can get every syllable.
Yep.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
She is not ready, though, because she just believes that her and Mo are going to be amicable and everything's going to be. And maybe that's for us. Maybe she's putting on for us, but girl,
no one's buying it.
No, because seriously, did you watch his show? Just out of curiosity.
You know, I watched like season 1. I like suffered through it, and then like I just like, I mean, like, my God, they are so boring. They are. So I couldn't. And then I was like, oh, like they're gonna talk more about like their relationship on like season 2, blah blah. And I was like, but like that's ballsy to be a veteran housewife and you're going through this public thing and you just toss it to the side on the show that you've been on for like 14 seasons, and then you're gonna go on like a competitor show and what? Bring about what? I don't know. I never watched season 2 though.
I watched season 2. I didn't watch season 1. Or I did end up going back and watching season 1. But they gave a lot more than we got, and I thought, wow, that was ridiculous. We did get a little bit more. I just thought what I think that kept me watching was I was so blown away at how much her girls sound like her. I was like, they are like clones of Kyle, like everywhere. It was insane. They sound just like her.
Hey, giving those cameras the tea didn't work though, because the show still got canceled. So
it sure did. And you know what? What it also did was it gave us some insight as to why Kathy is not a Mo fan. The whole Hilton and Highland versus him starting his own firm, and the fact that he actually did have some folks he took with him. That I understand the bad blood now. That's what that show gave to me, at least, because there would be glimpses of it, because you know how Kyle is. She didn't really want to talk about it. Kathy was trying, honey. Kathy was like, yeah, but she. No. So that part is what I got from it. I did get that. It wasn't a great show. It's canceled, but I watched it solely to see what I could scalder up, because we got nothing from Beverly Hills Housewives. So at any rate, yes, guys, I got to get through this one because we got another one for you. So we get to the dinner. And the ladies discuss Tariq. We already talked about them confiding in Bose. They're at dinner. First of all, let me just say real quick, Bose killed it again with that yellow top or crop top outfit. Good Lord, she looked great. So
but she's like so beautiful. I feel like she could like wear anything, and I'd be like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean,
it's why I watch, because it's like, you know, when you watch Housewives, you want to see some of that. They can do what I can't stuff. So I'm sitting up like, good Lord, that is banging. You know what I mean?
I know.
You don't get it from all the franchise. No shade. Sometimes God knows you don't get it at Potomac, because I'm like, girls, please.
Potomac. That's another convo, but
that's a conversation. We will come back.
That thing is hard to watch.
I almost have given up, and I was recapping, and people that tune in have noticed I've slid it to the side. I've started on Married to Med, and I even.
I'm like forcing myself to watch at this point.
It's hard. It's really hard. It's not giving. I'm worried for them too.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So when we get to the dinner, Kyle makes a toast. She thanks Kathy. And then she says she wants to have a conversation with Dorit. And that's where the floodgates open. So, Joey, I'm going to let you give me your thoughts on the showdown at dinner.
Well, the number one rule of Housewives, which of course they're going to follow in Beverly Hills, is anytime you sit down at a dinner table, you must start fighting.
Yep, absolutely.
So, of course, she doesn't want to talk to Dorit privately, which she's been saying the whole episode. She wants to do it publicly at this dinner because that's what we do. When I say, like, grasping at straws, like, Dorit has clear set X, Y, Z. This is why you've been a bad friend. Yep. And Kyle is just grasping at anything to gaslight Dorit into being the villain. And it's so wild. Like, she brings up this panel from BravoCon where this, like, guy asks, like, Kyle, why do you continue to, like, shove Teddy down our throats? Like, we hate her. Like, stop. And, of course, she, like, defends Teddy Mellencamp, which is, like, if that's, like, your friend, like, that's, like, fine. But to be mad at Dorit that she didn't jump in to defend Teddy, it's like, but the question wasn't directed at Dorit. It was directed at you, Kyle. Like, that has nothing to do with Dorit. Like,
that was so crazy.
Like, I'm just, like, so confused. Like, so you're mad about a joke on a panel. You're mad that Dorit didn't answer a question that wasn't directed at her. Like, I mean, my gosh. I mean, she's mad about the text message. Like, it is what it is, but it's Housewives. And you had to talk to her in months. And then you do send her a little bit of a threatening, devious text message, which she, like, reads out loud, like, on camera. She didn't read the whole thing. Just like an excerpt. But, like, girl, you've done way worse to her. Like,
way worse.
You know, and thank God Dorit has found her voice, and she's going to stand on it. She's going to earn that paycheck this year because, you know what? I'm behind her 110%.
As am I. I am 1,000,000,000%. I've been waiting for this. Kyle gets on my last nerve. She has. I mean, and it really, back in the days of when she had her little posse, like the Rennas, and, you know, it just, God, she had all of her pit bulls around her, and she could just kind of throw stones and hide hands, but Dorit is not having it. And I am so glad. I'm so glad. And it's like every time Kyle would come, Dorit's like, pow, 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 not,
because Dorit has facts.
Real stuff.
Kyle has her feelings that no one else seems to understand.
Just like a 5-year-old.
And then to be like, well, you care too much about what the audience thinks. Dorit has never cared what the audience thinks because we have hated her for seasons and she stayed on the same path. So if that's a bold-faced lie.
Agreed. Yeah, it was, y'all. It was a lot of that. And what I loved, you know, and Kyle tried, and basically she's telling Dorit, you know, you have 2 years, listen, whatever. And then Dorit, so with Kyle, it's time for you to effing listen. I was like, bravo. Yeah. And that's pretty much how it ended. A lot of you guys probably have seen they're already leaking sneak peeks of what we're going to get next week. So the conversation is going to continue. But just know that Dorit is on fire, honey. She is charged up and she's going to be still bringing that energy next week. And I am here for it.
Same.
Yes. So come back with us next week and we'll be talking about part 2 of the smackdown on Dorit and Kyle. So, with that being said, we're going to mosey on over to Salt Lake City. So it was, the name of the episode was Mazel Meredith, and it's all about Meredith's bat mitzvah. Thought it was a good episode. You, Joey?
Let me tell you, Salt Lake City is something. I, like, look forward to watching Salt Lake City. Like, it is so good. Like, this group of women that they found, I don't know if, like, they're playing roles. I don't know if this is, like, their reality. I don't know if the show is, like, a housewife parody and, like, we're all being punked. But, like, it is out of control. It is
crazy. It is crazy, but in the best way possible.
Yes.
So basically, the episode opens. She is learning Hebrew. Well, she's at her bat mitzvah's rehearsal. Then it pans over to her learning Hebrew in her bathtub, where she loves to be her safe space. um, and she lets us know that she decided to do this as an adult to affirm her faith and her heritage. And then we get to the actual bat mitzvah, and you see her family. They're taking photos. Now,
Loved it.
Wonderful. And we get to see her oldest son read. I thought that was cool. Because apparently he's in New York, he's pretty private. Because unless I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, Joey, this is the first time we've seen him on the show.
I don't think we've seen him on the show. No, I mean, I knew that he existed because of like her social media, and I knew that she had said like in interviews and stuff, he's a very private person. Wanted nothing to do with the show, which just is even more great or amazing that he's like there, like support his mom on camera. Like, love to see it.
Yeah, same. So the first ones to arrive are Heather and her daughter Georgia. And Heather lets us know, I know, she grew up in Denver and she's used to going to lots of bat mitzvahs and bar mitzvahs, but she hasn't been to one since Salt Lake City, so she's excited to see it from an adult perspective. We don't care because let me get your thoughts on Miss Heather Gay because she's on my nerves too.
Heather Gay is the villain of Salt Lake City.
Yes.
She is the conductor of the chaos. She is the biggest crap talker. She's in the middle of all this drama. I feel like she like gasses people up to go after each other. I just think that she is like the worst of like the worst when it comes to Salt Lake City. I think that she probably, as like time's gone on, like her head got like way too big for like her own britches, for like the show. She had one viral moment like last season, proof receives timeline, and like went right to her head. And like now, like I get her off my screen.
I agree.
I love the fact that like her and Bronwyn have been like butting heads. So like, and Bronwyn's been a big part of the show that we like we're not seeing a ton of Heather, and it's glorious.
It is so good to me. Bronwyn is an enigma. I mean,
10 out of 10 higher. To go from back to back, Bose and then Bronwyn, like give these casting people a raise.
Yes, I agree. I mean, just every time she speaks, I'm like, dang, girl, you did that. Like witty, funny. I mean, she's on point with her timing and
like no first season jitters at all.
No, you would never know. Like I said, I love her and Bose because they didn't come in. They're not thirsty. They're not fighting for storyline. They are just being who they are, and they are serving us up some amazing, good TV. I agree. Love. And I cannot wait to see her at the reunion, and we will get to that too. But so all the ladies come, Bronwyn and Todd, Lisa, John, Whitney, Justin, Angie, Kate, and Sean. And Whitney's, you know what? Oh, and we get to see, now, I'm going to say her name wrong. Miley?
I don't understand, like, what happened here. I don't know her name either. And, like, I always forget about her. I don't understand, like, she had some, like, drama, right? After filming Wrapped.
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know.
Did they intend her to have more of like a bigger part? And like they're cutting her.
She was a friend of the show, but I mean, good Lord, she dropped out of sight, out of mind. I'm thinking
like, Brittany is a friend of the show, and she's like in our faces. This Melly, Mella, I don't even know her name. I don't know. It's like pops in every like now and then. We're supposed to like know who she is.
Yeah. Okay. So I thought it was just me. I felt bad because I was like, I really do have some little ADD going. So I'm thinking, did I turn my head for 5 seconds and miss something?
No, I'm also very confused about the weather in Salt Lake City versus like what like they're wearing.
How about it?
Because like there's always like snow on the ground and like snow everywhere, and then like they're in like strapless dresses or like spaghetti strap shirts, and I'm like. What is happening here? I don't know.
Listen, it couldn't be me. I mean, and I'm not built for it. So there's that, North Carolina does what it does. But yeah, Salt Lake City, you would see me shrouded in 5 different coats, 3 hats, a scarf. Couldn't do it. Nah, just not in me. But yeah, somehow these ladies can be out in sub-zero temps, in crop tops, spaghetti straps, strapless, and not looking hurting. Like they're not hurting. They are owning it. So the cold is not
Yeah.
tearing them up like it would
No.
be. Okay. So they are, everybody's there. Brittany's there, everybody's there, and they are looking for Mary. And we find out that she and Angie had talked, and that she asked her if she was going, and she said that, you know, her family needed her, but she'd think about it. Um, and then Mary talks about being in shock about finding out about Robert Jr. And God, it was so heartbreaking. She was like, you know, I can fix it. I just know I can. You know, I'm leaning on God and all that. Please, I got to get your thoughts, because I was thinking when I watched last week's, what are your thoughts on
It might have been like one of the most intense scenes I think I've ever seen on like any franchise. I thought it was like so raw. It was so brave on her and her son's part, even to like allow cameras there for that conversation. I thought it was like so emotional. I was like visiting a friend in Tampa for like Thanksgiving. I'm like on her couch, like by myself, like sobbing, like watching like the show. I'm like, if they walk in here, her and her husband are gonna be like, what the hell's going on? I just thought it was like so, I mean, to think about like people that are going through it and like to put that out there on television for all these like people to like see, like I'm sure it like helped people that maybe felt like they were like alone.
Absolutely.
I'm sure it was, I mean, I have chills like thinking about it. It was just like so good. And Mary to me is like carrying this season on her back.
She is.
And I don't know if it's like intentional or not, but she really is.
I don't think it's intentional. And I'm so, first of all, I agree with you. Definitely one of the most realist, intense. I mean, hit home with me. Cried like a baby, and anytime I see it, I cry. She was on Watch What Happens Live last night, and when Andy asked her about it, she started to cry again, and I started crying right with her. I mean, it just, oh man, yes, brave, bravo, got it right. Mary emerges, you know, all of her quirks, and you know, people would say, well, she's rude, but she is. But we're getting to see the depth of Mary.
She's blunt. She's real. I mean, could she be rude? Yeah, but like that's just her, you know. I don't know.
But is she lying though?
No, nope. Never.
No.
And that's what I mean. Like, I'd rather watch her be like a little rude than what I feel like Heather's doing, which is like producing her own like scenes. Like it's just, it comes off phony and fake, and Mary is giving us nothing but raw and realness.
I agree 1,000%. So Angie basically tells her, look, I'm here. She didn't want to pry, but if she needs her, she's here, which I thought was great. I love their friendship, by the way. I do.
Same. I think that Angie has really been great this season.
Me too.
Last night was not her best moment, but like to think about like how she like came up. Like season 1, you didn't make any cut at all.
That's right.
Season 2, we saw you like here and there. Then you were like a friend of, and then like no one liked you at last season, and now you're like center snowflake and like bringing it.
Bringing it. And you know what? I know she gets a bad rap, but honestly, Angie cracks me up. I mean, agreed. I told you that I have a little hidden mean girl inside of me that I try to keep quiet, but every now and again, it's just because it's her defense mechanism. You know, I don't think it's just like when you come for her, it's just, she's conditioned to just cut you. I mean, it's crazy. Now, she went too far last night. That was a little crazy. Because I'm sitting there and I'm trying to take I'm just like, what? Whoa.
She was like on a mission to get camera time fighting with somebody. I mean,
something. It was so crazy. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to just have to crazy. Like, it was so crazy. I was like, I'm just going to have to refer to Joey some because I'm a little like I'm confused. But Bronwyn brings up, as a matter of fact, well, before Bronwyn brings up that we do get a chance at the the bat mitzvah to see Meredith's mom, Gloria, and her sister Myra. All that was cool. We find out with Brittany, now we get to some of the drama with ladies, that she's not happy with Angie because she called her a slut. And Brittany says, well, if she's calling me that, then that must be what she's doing over there with Sean. So
Brittany, don't do that. Don't do that.
Big
not
mistake.
a good look. Not a good look. Don't be talking about other people's marriages. Plus, that was like last season.
Correct. Correct. So,
Yeah.
oh, she pays. She pays for it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So Bronwyn talks about Angie's outburst and says that she does the most. And, she's still in her feelings about her telling her to shut the F up. And
which I get. I'll take that. That was aggressive for like no reason.
I agree. That was a lot. That was intense. So she calls her the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And so, what'd you think about the awkward moment when Lisa goes up to Meredith's mom to...
Again, in my notes, you're reading my mind. So I just think it is so outrageous. But again, this is why, like, Lisa Barlow, people hate her. I get it. She can be insufferable. She is perfect for the show. She was made to be a housewife. She makes the show interesting.
She does.
It is such a talent to turn any situation, any story, and make it about you. I mean, it is so... Oh, well, John did Ancestry, and we found out that he's Jewish, blah, blah, and then even like after when I was talking to Meredith, and she's like, well, like, my heritage, and da-da-da. This is not about you, Lisa.
No, I know. That woman, God knows.
Again, the show would be boring without her, I think.
It would. It definitely would. I thought to myself, I'm watching that scene, and I was like, girl, you know how you get like secondhand embarrassment for people?
Yeah.
Abort mission. But
she can't help herself.
She can't.
And you know what? Again, I don't say she's like playing a role. This is her.
I 1000%. I concur.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know what? She's annoying and delusional, but we like love like a little bit of like delusion. Yeah. And you know what? I'm here for it.
I'm totally here for it too. It cracks me up, and it never ceases to entertain me. So there's that. So Meredith then makes her entrance on a sleigh.
Iconic.
Was it not?
Iconic. A horse-drawn sleigh.
Yes. I loved it. Totally here for it. So then, y'all, the ceremony begins, and her mom gives her the Telit. I'm probably saying this wrong. So for all my Jewish folks, please forgive me. For me, I loved it.
I was bar mitzvahed.
Okay. Then I'm gonna turn this over to you. So I want to make sure I'm saying these things right.
Yeah, her talit.
Talit. Okay.
Yeah.
Prayer shawl. Yes.
Yes, her prayer shawl.
Yes. Cool. I didn't know, Joey. Okay. Good to know. All right. So got the resident expert. The 5 hours earlier, we find out that Seth gave her his, which I thought was so sweet.
So sweet. Honestly, I know they've been like through like, ups and downs. I just like love them. I'm like a huge like Meredith Marks fan. I think that she is like, again, doesn't try too hard, but like an instant icon and like everything that she like does. And I like love Seth. I love her weird family that kind of like reminds me of like the family from like Schitt's Creek. I just like, just love the Markses. I'm here for them always.
I do too. And I thought this gave us a chance. It just, again, I guess I'm a crybaby because I got emotional with them. I thought it was very touching, teachable for me. I like watching it, learning. The fact that she said that she waited as an adult, as a child, she didn't do it because she was fine, just knowing that was her heritage. But the inclusive part of it all, the fight against the anti-Semitic things that are going on, I just thought, and then seeing her family, they're proud, and then watching Seth get emotional.
Love me some Seth Marks, I'm telling you.
Yes, loved.
I was getting emotional with him.
Yes, it was so great for her. It was. So after that, we go through. Huh?
I know where you're gonna go next.
Our beloved Mary. Oh God. And that was another moment. I was just like, oh, Mary, no. Um, Look, her heart was in the right place. She decided, despite what she was going through, to be there for Meredith. I thought it was great, but
it was great, but
couldn't have come at the more awkward time.
Oh my God.
And then she's peeking through the window.
Like right behind like the BMO, right? The ceremony's like taking place.
Yes.
Oh, I was like laughing out loud.
It was so funny.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
It was. But she finally figured out how to get inside.
Oh, brother.
Whew, you gotta love her. When we get to hear Meredith's speech, which again was honestly very touching. The whole thing was very emotional, and she talks about why she did it, and then that this was her spiritual journey, and then everyone gets to give her the Mazel Meredith. So I thought that was great. And then we get ready for them to go eat. They again spare no expense, honey. Food, fabulous. I'm like, dang, I want to invite to just one of these events. Goodness gracious. Mary gets to meet Meredith's mom, which was cool. And did you not think it was so thirsty when Heather wanted to introduce Bronwyn to her that plastic surgery? I was like, delete scene. Why did that make it on the not just
honestly? We can like delete every Heather Gay scene. And
I agree. I was like, who cares? Jesus.
Talk about bringing nothing to like the table this season, and they're having like a fire season, and Heather has brought nothing.
Right? It's just. I don't get it, and I can't say that I used to be semi-Heather fan because I used to feel sorry for Heather. Then this season I'm like, what am I looking at? Get off my screen. Yeah, but you're right. I think she got hyped up from that little viral moment, but I'm like, girl, here's your time to actually have, you don't have to be under the in the shadow of Jen Shah, and you can actually emerge and maybe be interesting, and then you come and become obnoxious and just pot stir and just for no reason. It just did not land.
No.
Yeah. So, okay. So then we get to the Mary and Meredith talk. What did you think about that?
I mean, I thought it was good. I like the fact that like here are two adults.
Yes.
Acting like adults.
Yes.
Talking, listening when the other person's speaking, like both admitting like their faults, like deciding to like move forward, expressing themselves, not screaming. Like it was kind of like refreshing for a housewives.
It was
combativeness. You know what I mean? Like it was nice to see a conversation that's actually like normal.
Yes.
Yes,
I agree. I'm glad it went there. What I gathered, what I know is that they both truly, really love each other, because either of them, if had been with someone else, I could have seen that going way left, because it just was it was a misunderstanding. Meredith didn't hear her exactly right. And then for her to say she stormed out when she felt like she was the whole thing was just a big misunderstanding, but I loved how quickly they resolved it.
Yeah.
It's clear they're really friends.
Agreed.
And she talked on Watch What Happens Live about the genuineness of her friendship with Meredith and Angie. She genuinely loves both of those women. And I think it is coming across as such.
I completely agree.
Yes. By the way, Andy asked her when the episode aired with her and Robert Jr., did all of her castmates reach out to her? And she said everyone reached out to her except for Lisa.
I mean, she probably couldn't make it about herself. So what was she going to say? I don't
know. But I thought, dang, Lisa, even with yourself, so I would think that would have been a moment.
I mean, I remember like reading even like social media comments when like Bravo posted like the scene like on social media, and like the other housewives from other franchises, like current, past, like the things that they were saying were like so sweet. Like everyone from like Portia to like Stephanie Holman from like Dallas back in the day,
Yeah.
like Dorinda, like it was
Yeah.
just so nice to see, and they all were like, we don't think we've ever seen anything like that on like the franchises. Like it was so amazing, like so brave of you, so whatever. That for Lisa, like not to call like your friend that's like on your franchise is.
Isn't that
I mean,
crazy?
is it also though? Like, is it like a little bit like that's not surprising? I don't know.
I mean, it isn't surprising, and yet to me it was, because even Andy kind of, you know how he tilts his head, like,
Yeah.
yeah. I was just like, Lisa, that's not a good look. But she didn't say it with any malice, like, no, Lisa didn't. She just, I think she's in a space where she's just trying to, because she was really still, it's very raw. I mean, he's doing well. We find out that his wife is actually still in rehab. So she had to do a longer stint, but it's a one day at a time thing. So,
Right.
but yeah, she's still really torn up, rightfully so.
Right.
Yeah. But just thought I'd put that little tidbit in there because I was like, Lisa, really? Anyway, so Angie grabs Bronwyn to go talk, and she compliments her outfit. And Bronwyn's like, is it step 2 of an apology? And she's like, apology? You think I need to apologize to you? And then she does apologize for the shut the F up.
But like, was it like a legit apology?
Not really.
No. And like, this is someone's like bat mitzvah. It's not just like a dinner that you women like love like ruining. Like, I feel like it was like up there on the level of like a wedding, like pick and choose your moments to have your on-screen fights. I mean, I'm sure again, it's a TV show, it's heavily produced. I'm sure like, you know, they all knew that there was gonna be fighting happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Angie, so like déclassé, you know?
I was, so not class. It went so gutter at something that was, I mean, it had no place at that event at all.
No.
Yeah, I was like,
And Angie, you picked the wrong one.
She sure did, honey. She did. She did.
Like,
what I wanted to ask you though, what was the comment when she said, you know, about not to be cheap? Was she's I didn't
Are you talking about Brittany?
I wrote the comment down because I didn't understand. It's right before Bronwyn and Brittany do start talking, so it may have been. I thought it was Angie saying not to be cheap because of the language?
Oh yeah, because Brahman was throwing out some like F-bombs. Like,
Right.
like I'm sorry, Angie,
was
you are no priest. I don't know what, like, you know, and like, yeah, Bronwyn used some like strong language or whatever. But to be honest, like Bronwyn, have you noticed? Bronwyn, I feel she matches energy.
She does. She does.
And like, I'm sorry, I don't care how we want to cut the pie. Like, Angie started that problem. Angie's the reason they even have to have that conversation. Because you had no problem telling her to shut the F up multiple times on their outing. But now Bronwyn comes back in a confrontation and says the F word, and you're like, oh, that's so cheap.
Yeah. 1,000. Yeah, that is true. Okay, that's what I thought we were going to like. Well, I'm gonna write this down, then we're gonna talk about that. But yeah,
don't get me wrong, like Angie, but Team Bronwyn.
100%, totally. Angie tells Bronwyn that she inserted herself in Brittany's relationship, and Bronwyn says, "Well, Angie, you were the one that said she was effing 10 guys." Angie clarifies and says, "No, 3." And then that's when they get into the whole language thing about the comment that Bronwyn made about Lisa Barlow expects me to ride like her deed like it's her job, which I thought was hilarious. But
yeah,
okay,
fantastic. We love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, it was appropriate at that time because that's what the energy was given. So, then here comes Todd. Joey, what do you think about Todd?
You know, I'll be honest. Todd was better this episode than he hasn't been in past. I feel like he was more supportive of Bronwyn, I feel like, than we've seen in the past with Sally altercations.
Yeah.
I just feel like everyone did Todd a disservice because apparently he's never watched a Housewives episode ever in his life.
Clearly not.
Let his wife join the show. And I don't know what he thought she was getting into, but it is like not the Sound of Music. Like,
no.
I mean, I don't know. I also felt like, again, Heather, I just have to, all Rosalie
Did you see? Yes.
Her glaring, her like eavesdropping on their conversation, like, girl, get a life. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like he was better than we have seen him. So I'm not going to fault him for that. I felt like he had her back the best he could.
Yeah.
While still stating his opinion. I mean, he's old school. Doesn't have an opinion. You can't teach an old dog like new tricks. Like, you know, he just doesn't like seeing his wife act like that. She probably doesn't, but she's in this environment where dog eat dog, and she's not going to be eaten. Let me tell you.
That she is not. Nope, she's not. Yeah, I'll give you that. I know I read a lot of people's comments. A lot of people are not here for him. But yeah, I think you're right. Just protecting his wife, maybe, you know, her out of character, him trying to swoop in before it gets, but yeah. Because at first I was kind of like, you know, you keep jumping in she's handling her business, but from that perspective, I get it. And
I also like they were getting like a little loud. Don't forget, it's like someone's like bat mitzvah party.
That's true.
You know, like let's just continue this like later.
Right.
I'm sure Angie has someone else to fight with, which we find out she does.
And did. Oh yeah. So meanwhile, then we get into Bronwyn is now over there with Brittany and Mealy, somebody. And she tells them Angie has lost her mind. Then we hop over to Heather and Whitney, which she was saying Heather said she had no issues with what she said at Camp Day. No, and no one cared. The Whitney, Heather, they're cousins that are just, they cousin to be cousin, they cousin, it's dumb. Why are we still doing this?
But like that scene could have been like deleted. Like we've already been through this. Like how many times we don't need to watch the same scene again?
I agree. To me, it was stupid. It looked like I'm with you. Like they were just trying to get a moment, but it was like, girl, we've heard this a million times. Nobody cares.
No, and then of course like, Lisa had to run over and make it like about her, like put her in her juice.
She did. She sure did. Yes, I have that. Yep. She comes over and says, Whitney makes up lies. She makes up things and she lies. That was a Lisa moment. So she did get in there and get her shine. Meanwhile, Brittany and Bronwyn are now friends. Was that not the best line ever?
Yep.
Goodness. Ooh, child, honey. She said, when Bronwyn and Angie's over there, Bronwyn tells Angie that, look, she was the one that called Brittany no. No. Let me make it right. Okay. So Bronwyn and Brittany are friends for a hot second. Whitney comes up to Angie and says, ask her, did she say anything about Heather? Nobody cares. Then we have the Angie versus Brittany. But Bronwyn jumps in and says, well, Angie, you were the one that called her a slut because she is one. And Brittany was like, well, she's like, me and Brittany wanted to be friends or wanted to be my friend. We were for a hot minute. I gave her like 5, which that was an iconic statement.
Yeah. Bronwyn is the bone collector of Salt Lake City.
She is.
Holding everybody accountable. And like she said earlier before like the bat mitzvah, where she's like, I have like literally fought with like everyone in this group already. And like whoever like I'm like mad at, the other women come and talk about that person to me. So like I have all these like secrets.
Yes, she's got all of them, honey.
She's just holding everybody accountable. And like I love that.
I do too. It's so great. And then it's kind of like, called out. Then Angie tells Brittany she has a high body count and says her hair is slutty. Basically, her hair, her outfit, her shoes, her face, everything. I was like, Angie, whoa. Okay. So not her best moment. I agree, Joey.
It is not. It was not. But you know what? I'm still here for her.
Me too.
Everyone
And
has a bad episode. We'll take it.
everyone has a bad episode. And the fact that it just kept giving, it to me, I'm sorry, it made me laugh. Brittany goes, or, she tells Whitney what she said, and Angie clarifies and says, no, I called her hair slutty, not her. Makes it better.
I mean, her hair was something.
Yeah, it was giving porn star-ish. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was something.
It was something, and I guess if you were looking in your moment of trying to defend yourself, I mean, it was an easy mark, I guess. And they have that whole hair thing going. That's easy for her to laser focus on. So. Brittany tells Meredith that she's never been slut shamed. It gets to Meredith. And she goes to the other ladies, and at this point, Meredith is like, look, Angie, you can take your husband and you can go. So, what'd you think about that? I know why Meredith did it.
So, again, there's nothing I love more than an unhinged Meredith Marks. I think that she makes the best television when she's unhinged. And we already know that her and Angie have a past and don't get along already. So, I was actually shocked that Angie was there and invited. But when she sees Brittany, she gets upset. She gets so activated. And the fact that we get 2 seasons in a row of Meredith calling for security on Angie is just, again, iconic behavior. And I'm just so here for it. And it was just so funny to me that even because again, like I said, I like Angie, but I will stan Meredith Marks all day long, and it was great television. The security guards coming over and getting her and Sean out of the event. It was just so funny.
So funny. She was like, look, I'm going to walk out. What are you going to do to me? I'm 100 pounds. And then they bring her coat. That's not my coat. It was so crazy. I was here for it.
Yeah, prime Housewives television.
It really was. And then what I absolutely loved, Brittany and Mealy is over there by Bronwyn, and they decide they want to take a selfie after their trauma of being slut shamed. And Bronwyn opts out of the photo because, she didn't have the slutty hair, so there was that. Because apparently Miley was rocking the slutty hair too. Angie gave her a little taste too.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I love that Bronwyn just does her own thing all the time. It's so funny to me.
So funny. So funny. I was here for it. Well, guys, after that, we find out the ladies are getting ready. Pretty much, they all getting ready to wrap it up and leave. And Lisa's like, I'll see you in Puerto Vallarta. And I'm like, Lisa has planned the girls' getaway. She breaks down all the fights first, and it was going too fast, so pretty much everybody's fighting.
Yeah, she could not have picked a worse time for a trip.
Correct. So, the gift that's going to keep on giving us next week and maybe beyond is their trip to Puerto Vallarta, hosted by Lisa, which within itself.
I cannot wait for the Lisa dinner we saw in the trailer where they're all dressed like Lisa Barlow.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes, y'all. 2 amazing episodes, 2 great seasons, good one for Beverly Hills, great for Salt Lake City. Already have a seating chart for Salt Lake City, and before we let you go, I'm going to put it up here.
No.
So we
just already know.
I know. So we can sulk together. So
this is crap. I don't know who makes this seating chart.
I don't either. But just why, Joey?
Because I don't understand. First of all, on either side of Andy in seat 1 needs to be Mary and Bronwyn. I don't care if it's her first season, because it was Monica's first season and she got first seat.
That part she did.
You know what I mean? Then we can move Angie and Lisa down if we want.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but then Whitney can move up to Bronwyn's seat because Heather, you got to be way over here at the end, next across from Brittany, because second seat. She hasn't brought anything to the show this
Not
season.
a thing. And I want her to actually have the seat that you had sitting there for Tamara on.
Oh yeah, in the parking lot on a bridge chair. Yeah, exactly.
That's where I want her to sit.
Yeah, I don't know who's doing this. People are going berserk on social
They
media.
They are. It dropped, and I mean, it has been pandemonium since. I'm like, I didn't get it, but hey, it is what it is, and we're gonna tune in. Joey, I'm gonna give you the final words.
I mean, not much to say. I just think that Beverly Hills and Salt Lake City are just like bringing it this season. I think that, especially when we're struggling through Potomac, I just could not care less. New York is having a rough go of it.
They are.
I really like them. I really want to like them. I think Jenna Lyons is fascinating. I think Bryn's fascinating. I just don't really care. But I will say I'd rather watch New York over Potomac.
I'll give you that. But
thank God we have Beverly Hills and Salt Lake City going on.
It makes it so much better. I'm gonna rock with Potomac because I feel like I have to. I will say
it's too far to drop them now.
Right. And I feel like Mia is suffering from the same disease that Heather has. And I'll leave it at that. We will more to follow on that conversation. Y'all are gonna have to keep coming back because we're gonna talk about it. But guys, already, if you haven't, quickly go ahead and like, subscribe, share, comment, all that great stuff. Let us know what you thought about the episodes. Give us your opinions, honey. What did y'all think about that seating chart? Put it in those comments. But as always, Joey, thank you so much. It's always a good time talking all things Bravo with you.
Thank you for having me once again. I love being here.
Good, because I don't want you to ever go. So there's that. Okay. All right, guys. Well, we hope you have a great night. Thanks for tuning in and come back next week because we're going to do it again. So there's that. All right. All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.